In the spirit of reconciliation, the new blurt acknowledges the traditional custodians of country throughout Australia and their connections to land, sea and community. We pay our respect to their elders past and present and extend that respect to all Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander peoples today.
I can't take it anymore!
Good afternoon, good evening, good day, and good morning, blurtsters, wherever you are around the world. You are listening to the Blurt.
You are listening to the new Blurt. Very good evening to everyone who is with us on the live stream this evening. It is a balmy, what have we got out there? 11. Okay, cool. Well, it's very hard to tell because it's pretty bloody cold in Victoria at the moment. And I'm coming from you. What am I saying? I am coming to you from the Wurundjeri people of the Kulin Nation in Victoria. And I would like to say what's on tonight's show. The first part of our show is going to be COVID countdown. We are so much going on in COVID. So we have to talk about it, but it won't be forever. Anyway, after that, our next brilliant segment will be Get Off the Grass ScoMo. There's so much Get Off the Grass ScoMo to talk about. It's just not funny. It's not funny at all, actually. We'll talk about nuclear submarines. Do we need them? Do we want them? Are we ever going to get them? These are all good questions. And Wency will probably answer those for you tonight. Maybe. And then our last segment will be a good news because we all damn well need some. And with that, I say, with no further ado, good evening, Wency!
Greetings. From sunny, windy.
Good to see you, my fine feathered friend.
Yes. Oh, have you been looking down my shirt today, have you? Very feathery. Sorry, I shouldn't have said that while you're drinking.
No, that's okay. I quite like it when it comes out of my nose.
Yeah.
It's like a recycle, you know.
Radio.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we are live, so you know.
True, we are.
Yeah, we haven't been live for a while. I saw a comment today when I put a promo in, and I tried to look at the comment, but I couldn't, so I'm not exactly sure. There was a really tiny little URL next to the comment, and I was really loath to hit that URL. I wasn't sure what was going to happen. So, Fernando, if you're out there, you can comment now. It's fine for you to comment.
In English or any other language that we can translate, but no URLs, please.
Yes, exactly right. And Wency will be able to translate just about any derivation of Spanish, so go for it. Not a problem.
Sí, por supuesto.
Yes, whatever he said. So how have you been anyway, buddy?
Yeah, not too bad. A lot of gardening this week, so I've decided to get back on that wagon and start growing my own veggies and stuff. So I've been pretty happy.
You've been a regular green thumb in the past, haven't you? So with your what are they called? Heirloom vegetables, your tomatoes and et cetera.
Yeah,
and
so growing all those again this time round, and go on.
No, I was just going to say, I got my my inspiration for growing what we're growing at the moment, which is heirloom radishes and heirloom silver beet and heirloom spinach and weird ass broccoli, and it's just not your normal everyday sort of veggies. They're just out there a little bit, and I was following your lead from years ago. But as you've said on the show before, though, you've had not a lot of fun up there in cane toad land, and you haven't been able to grow very much. So what changed your mind to want you to go back to growing again?
We've got the space, and we have an olive tree and a kaffir lime tree that are in pots that didn't do well last year. In the previous home, but just in the 5 or 6 weeks we've been here, they've come to life and they're growing better. So I've gone, you know what? Maybe I should just give this a crack again. See if I can turn that brown thumb into a green thumb again. Yes,
take it straight out of your ass and straight into the garden. That's a really good idea.
Yeah,
I agree with that.
Composting. Oh, that's giving me a good idea.
But what I was gonna say is, so how much? So you've got, because I know you've just recently moved, so you have quite a bit more land in your backyard now to what you used to have, or?
Correct, and more sunshine space too. So in our previous place, there was a lot of shade, so things didn't get enough sun to grow.
So what you're saying is you imported your own sun when you moved.
Yes, correct.
Nice work.
Yeah,
I liked
and
it.
being the greenie that I am, I chopped the trees along the way to get that sun, because I needed that sun.
Look, we're going to have to display our vegetable presentations when they've finished in their entirety on the show, on a live show. Actually, talking about live show, in a couple of weeks' time, as you know, we're coming up to our 50th, and obviously we need to do that live. With a bit of luck, with a little bit of luck and a little bit of understanding, we may have Dan Illick from the Our Rational Fear podcast on our little podcast for our 50th, with a bit of luck.
Awesome.
But I'm just negotiating, and my people are talking to his people, which is me talking to his people.
Should I get out my checkbook?
Yes. No, I think it's okay. I think he works for chocolate, so it's okay.
It's
all right.
Perfect.
Yeah, we've got plenty of that from India's birthday, so that's all good. That's all good. That's all good. Look, I don't want to do this, but I'm going to have to. Look, it is the COVID countdown, and I just thought I would start the COVID countdown. Sort of an uplifting, motif, if you like. And I'm going to talk about the roadmap in Victoria, and I'm going to have a little bit of music accompany me with it as I tried to sort of express my opinions and maybe how it's working. So we'll just see how it goes. It could be a complete disaster, but we'll give it a crack. So for starters,
what could go wrong?
Look, what could go wrong? For starters, it's so great to have a roadmap, but will it be a road to nowhere? This is the question. Or will it be on the road again? We could be on the road again, but how long do we need to travel on the road? Will it be like a holiday, maybe?
Are we there?
But I doubt it. But the premiers will probably be bricking it because there'll be so many deaths. So. But hopefully not. We really hope not.
Never come back from Copperhead Road.
And we hope that things don't come back to bite us. That's what we hope the most. These are things we need to ponder. So that's sort of how I feel about the roadmap.
Okay.
And I apologise.
Sort of a downer. I was hoping there was going to be a good roadmap that was going to get everyone G'd up and go, "Yay, Christmas is coming!"
Yeah, Christmas is coming, and we're all staying at home.
He says, laughing with lots of tears.
Look, to be honest, yeah. Look,
I know you're okay with it.
Well, yeah,
sort of.
We just want to be able to get to New Zealand for Christmas. That's really all we want. But unfortunately, it may not be possible. It just depends on the amount of the amount of cases that we have at the time and where we are in ICU situation with the health of our state, etc., etc. It's interesting, actually. I was just doing a few bits of research the other day, and Queensland is 7.61 times larger than Victoria, and Brisbane has 2.2 million people in it. Queensland has 5 million people in it. Melbourne has 5 million people in it.
Jeez.
You do the maths.
Yes.
So that's why we are where we are. And I mean, New South Wales is unfortunately they're needing to lock down LTAs on your border again. I know. Palaszczuk's looking at that. She's not too happy. We've got idiot protesters, but now they're apparently part of the union, but they're not part of the union. They're just far right-wing nut jobs.
Yeah.
Apparently,
who bought high-vis vests in the $2 shop.
Yeah, exactly right.
Yeah.
And it's just it's I don't know. One thing I do know is that it wasn't this bad when it comes to protests and violent protests until New South Wales went into lockdown.
Oh, right. I thought you were going to say
No,
something else.
it was not this bad in 2020. It wasn't this violent and it wasn't this bad. It's only become this bad this year since New South Wales went into lockdown.
Why would that be? Is that because people are tired of it?
No, I believe it's because, excuse me, New South Wales seems to be the epicenter of everything, especially when it comes to the news, because they've had a free ride on most things. I mean, I don't know if you read the news about the COVID from Victoria and New South Wales, but every time you read a paper, and it seriously doesn't matter which one it is, Victoria will have a demonstrative opinion about it, how disastrous it is and how terrible it is and blah, blah, blah. And then when they talk about New South Wales, they go, oh, New South Wales had 1,600 cases today. Blah, 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 blah.
Wow.
And
it's a totally different tone, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a 100% completely different tone. And I'm not 100% sure why. I mean, New South Wales, the government really, because they didn't make the right decision early enough, they've given all of Australia COVID, and people were locking down. I mean, but yeah, I was about to say they've given another country COVID as well, but they've just got off so lightly, and plus they got all the Pfizer, they got all the vaccine.
Yep.
You know, and they just, they keep just ramping on about how they're so far ahead. It's like, well, you've got all the vaccine. We would expect you to be very far ahead.
Yeah, of course.
So
what else would they expect? They're getting all the special treatment.
Absolutely.
They're the favourite child of the Prime Minister family.
Yes, absolutely. No doubt about it. It's going to be interesting because I don't know if you know, but I was listening to it this morning. It's really, if I was in New South Wales, I'd be really confused because all the swimming pools in New South Wales opened yesterday. So as a mate said to me at work, he said, you go there to get gastro, you don't need to get COVID as well. And I was like, yeah, that's probably the least of your problems getting COVID. It's just not getting every other disease. There's no doubt about that. They are an absolute cesspool. They are.
Literally.
Statistically, physically, accurately. But what I was going to say was that I heard this morning that apparently kids under 16 in New South Wales can go to another person's house and play, but their mum or their dad can't come into the house. And I'm not sure if they have to be double vaxxed, whether they could come. It just seems so confusing to me. I'm like,
it is.
How does anyone follow that? And no one's going to.
Yeah. I think I heard that. That was about kids having a bubble person.
Yes.
That they could nominate. Yeah.
Yes. I thought that was just like a really fat friend. I wasn't sure.
Or someone who's allergic to everything and they live in a bubble.
Well, that's it. If I was going to invite a bubble person, I would definitely get Faddis around. That'd be me.
But imagine the poor kid having to decide which kid they invite, and then all the other friends realize, oh shit, he didn't invite me. I'm not the bubble person.
I don't know about you. I would have never had that problem when I was a kid.
No,
I would have been. Can you come round? Nope. Okay, I'm done. Some things don't change, I'll tell you.
No, exactly. So where are we at with vaccinations across the nation?
Yeah, look, great question. We're about 73% in Victoria, one dosed at the moment, and
Single
about
dose.
45% double dosed.
Mm-hmm.
New South Wales is off the charts. They're about 85% one dosed
Yeah.
and getting up to 50% double dosed. I tell you what's interesting, though, what's really interesting is that Victoria and New South Wales and some of the other states, Tassie and ACT, I think, they have more single dosage in those states than some of these states in America. And they've been going with the vaccine for over a year.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Like hardcore.
Yeah.
So yeah, and the double dose, there's some states, I think Ohio may be one of them, that New South Wales, I think, has got more double dosage than Ohio does. Which is pretty scary.
Yeah,
that's pretty scary. So
yeah, and Queensland had a super Pfizer weekend just gone.
Yes.
So I think that pushed us off the bottom of the list in the first dose vaccination rates now. So good on you, Queenslanders. We are
race to the bottom. No, you moved forward.
Yeah.
That's really good. Well, you didn't have any rugby on this weekend, so they thought, we'll do a super Pfizer blitz.
Yep, and stand in line for 4 hours because that's a sport.
Yes, it is. It is a sport. It is a sport. I tell you another thing that's a sport. Watching our Prime Minister just get up there and light quite often. That's another sport. It's something that's I don't enjoy, but I do endure.
Can everyone get off the grass, please? Sure. Let's just move back from there.
Hey guys, I've just reseated that.
Please, off the thing.
Sorry, mate.
All good? That's all good. Thanks.
No, it's not all good. It's not all good at all. Get off the damn grass.
Not if you're a submarine. It's not good.
No, exactly right. Over to you, Wency.
Yes, as I just said, we have blown the French out of the water. The contract has sunk.
Glad you finished that sentence. This is a family show.
Is it? I thought that was a family show. Don't we put explicit ratings on at the end of every show, at the start of the show?
Yes, we do. Yeah.
Yes.
Fuck me, we do.
Hell yeah. Oh, fuck yeah. Yes. So after
why you being a dickhead fool? Stop being a
why did we need 12? Why not
one for
10?
every month? One for every month?
Very good.
That's what I reckon.
Very good.
But in his infinite wisdom, Scott Morrison and co have decided to rip up that contract, throw it in the water, and sign up a new contract with AUKUS, the UK, US, and Australian alliance, and we're now going to get I think it's 11 submarines.
Oh, come on, ripped off. You sure they're 11?
I don't know. Probably, who knows if we ever get them.
Well, that's the thing, isn't it? I mean, 2040, they're saying. I heard this morning is really interesting and really terrible. I heard this morning that the 90, I think it was a $90 billion contract. That's right, isn't it, with the French?
It actually started off as 50, and then in the intervening years, it blew out of the water. We're gonna
just like the Rainbow Warrior.
Yes.
Nice. Very nice.
Yeah, so it did become expensive.
Yes.
Even though we've got nothing to show for it.
Yes. Yeah, well, that's happened a few times. That's happened a few times. Well, I know you're going to talk about the actual submarines in a minute, but just cost-wise, £2 billion. What's his name? Bob Carr. I think it's Bob Carr. Not Bob Carr. It's I can't remember his name, but he is in the Labor Party. He was speaking this morning. He knows a bit about the Navy. He knows about a bit about the defence portfolio. He was talking about how much the Brits paid for their nuclear sub. Apparently, $2 billion.
Is that all? 2 billion.
That's all. Billion. B.
For
Billion.
Is that just for one?
2 billion for one. Yeah, which, as you know, is about 135 billion Australian dollars.
It is, yes.
So that is ridiculous because we will be paying for that, and I don't want to pay for that. So
why not?
But anyway, you were going to.
Yes.
I digressed you there. You were going to
that's okay.
talk about the actual submarines. So I'm just.
Yeah. So the new submarines is going to be using US nuclear technology to power the engines. So in theory, these submarines can last months and months without having to surface above water. So that makes them very undetectable. So they can hide and roam around the oceans without being detected. They're actually faster than your conventional diesel electric engines. So technologically, they're superior than the French built ones, but of course they run nuclear. So the question now is, where's that nuclear fuel going to come from? We've got Lucas Heights in Sydney. I don't know if that's where it's going to come from, so there's no details of any of that. There's no details or confirmation as to when building will start. It's been announced Adelaide will get the contract. That's where they'll be built. But yeah, it's just one of those typical things where this gets announced, but there's no details or substance to the actual partnership, and that's my big concern.
Yeah, I would 100% agree. Basically, there's no details. There's no costing either.
No.
Something that they whinged about before the last election, saying there was no costing for climate change, that there's no costing to cost it, but there's actually no cost not to do it. You can't cost how much it is if you don't do anything about it.
Yeah, exactly. And these are this is a government that say that they're the best economic managers for this country.
Yeah, biggest deficit we've ever had in history.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're never ever going to see that debt truck driven around ever again. You'll never hear them talk about debt and deficit. No, it's never going to happen
ever again. Not with COVID, which was out of their control, admittedly, but there's a number of things that they could have done better. But then you get this big announcement, and we're going to go into further debt. So our poor kids and their kids and their kids for a long time.
Yep, no doubt about it. No doubt. And just to, just to add to the pain of that, I thought I'd add to a bit more pain of this. As you know, our friend Christian, what the hell is that in that account? Oh, my God. Porter has resigned as minister in Scott Morrison's cabinet because he's got no idea who donated $1 million to help him out with his legal fees. Just doesn't have a clue. But he's done nothing wrong whatsoever. Apparently, his register of interest to include he had received donations from a blind trust. That's what the Prime Minister said he had to do. He had to register his interest that he had done that. And because he didn't do that, that's why he was put back onto the backbench. But he's left it. ScoMo has very, politely left it to Christian. What the hell is that, Porter? To whether he's going to resign or not, because why would you? If someone gave you an invisible amount of money, I remember a young man called Sam Dastiari that apparently had a couple of bills paid by the Chinese, and he got hounded out of Parliament, just absolutely hounded.
And I bet it wasn't $1 million.
It was nowhere near $1 million. It was like a couple of thousand. It was absolutely disgraceful. I never thought he should have resigned at the time. But anyway.
No.
And so this is just ridiculous. And this idiot keeps saying, I've done nothing wrong. And what makes it even worse is that we've got an acting Prime Minister. Oh, my God, I hate saying this. Barnaby. Oh, you've got to be kidding me, Joyce. That just makes us a laughing stock in the world. Anyway, he's saying how much of a good guy this guy is. I mean, this guy he's trying to defend the fact. I mean, obviously he's trying to defend it, but he's trying to defend an allegation of rape. and an allegation of multiple sexual assaults in his
Yeah.
history. It's not just one.
No.
So it's just this is exactly said he had been so Porter released a statement where he said that he'd been subjected to trial by media, and I'm sorry, but you have had so many chances, dude. I mean,
exactly.
when Malcolm Turnbull was there, he did some dodgy stuff, and Malcolm Turnbull wasn't 100% sure. And to be honest with you, Malcolm should have done something about it at the time. So, but anyway, we don't have. Sorry.
Before we move on, I want to read a tweet by a friend of mine about this case, and I won't say her name, but her handle is Atomic. But she said, "Sorry, can I check I got this right? Christian Porter chose to quit cabinet rather than disclose which of his mates paid his legal bill, and is still an MP." I thought that pretty much summed it up.
It does. It does sum that up. Atomic, I hope she listens to the show. If she doesn't, you need to send her a link.
Yes, I will have to now that I've mentioned her.
You definitely will have to. You definitely have to. Need to get a listenership up. But no, 100% correct. 100% correct. But I love this. He's so magnanimous. Ultimately, I decided that if I have to make a choice between seeking to pressure the trust to break individual to remain in cabinet or alternatively forego my cabinet position, there's only one choice I could, in all conscience, make, he said. Consequently, I provided the Prime Minister with my resignation earlier today. It's effective immediately. So, basically, that's what he's saying to us. But one thing I did want to just say is that they keep talking about a blind trust. Now, I'm sorry, but this is definitely 100% not a blind trust. I really wish they stopped using that term. A blind trust is generally used when a trust creator wishes for the beneficiary to be unaware of a specific assets in the trust because they want to avoid a conflict of interest. Well, that's why he just resigned, because there is a conflict of interest, and it's an invisible bloody donation. It's not a blind trust. So sorry, it's getting a bit angry there.
Bring on a federal anti-corruption commission, please.
We need an ICAC. We need an ICAC.
We do.
And we also need a bit of this.
I got the good news. I don't want no bad news. Don't show me no dirty shoes. I just want the good news. I don't want no bad news. Don't show me no dirty shoes. I just want the good news.
So it is the good news segment that I very much enjoy because of the fact that there is so much shite news. So I thought it'd be good that we would have some good
somewhere.
news. Yes, we do, my friend. We do indeed. More than happy if you want to go or whatever you would like.
Yep. Still on the theme of COVID, but this is this is really good news. If Melburnians thought that they had the rough end of the stick with over 200 days in lockdown since the pandemic started, spare a thought for Sydney man David Malado, 69-year-old, who has been in hospital for about 399 days. He contracted COVID in 2020, spent a few weeks in a coma, then 7 weeks in ICU, and for over the last 12 months in a respiratory unit recovering from the virus. He got released earlier this week. How amazing is that?
Well, it's sad because he's been in hospital for 300 and something days, but it's good.
He's battled it. Yeah, he's battled through. He's made friends with pretty much every staff member in the hospital. He admittedly said that he doesn't remember everyone's name, but everyone knows him.
Yes, I bet.
Yeah. So there were a lot of tears when he left and things like that, and he got to meet his one of his grandsons, a newborn, while he was in hospital.
Wow. That's amazing.
Yeah, he's gone through a lot, but hey, he's out. He's going to recover.
I've heard of long COVID, but that's more like extended COVID. That's unbelievable.
Yeah.
So
hopefully,
go for it. Sorry.
I was just going to say, hopefully he makes a full recovery real soon so that he can get out and about and play with his grandkids.
Yeah. Absolutely. So, are they expecting him to have side effects or?
I'm sure they will, but I'm sure I reckon he'll be a study case too. They'll probably monitor him over the next few months and years.
So he was in hospital for 399 days. During that time, was there any point that he could have got vaccinated, or has he been vaccinated, or what's the situation?
I don't know. I couldn't find that, but he has asked everyone, please go get vaccinated. It'll help.
Yeah.
So,
do you know? Sorry, go for it.
No, go on. No, you go.
No, I was just going to say, I heard something that was pretty amazing the other day, and I had to listen to it twice. And they said that basically, if you get COVID and then you get jabbed, you're basically like a superhuman being.
Oh, really?
Yeah. When it comes to COVID, it's like you're just nearly a brick wall to COVID.
Wow.
You'll just about guaranteed never ever to get it passed on to anyone else or it even get anywhere near you. But you obviously have to have it once, which probably isn't a good thing.
No, you don't want it.
No,
I'm sure.
You definitely do not want it. You do not want it.
I wonder if anyone's had COVID twice.
Yes, there has been some cases. Yeah. Yes, there has been some cases. Well, that is fascinating, and it's also good news. Now, I've got something equally as fascinating, and it's also good news. And what it is that, if you just bear with me, I apologise. There was a fossil found by school kids in New Zealand's Carr Harbour. Any Kiwis out there, please comment and tell me how to pronounce that. It's Kawhia. It could be Kawhia Harbour. I think WH is an F. I think that's right. Is new species of extinct giant penguin. Always my favourite place over there, Whakapapa. And
so what? Hang on, I thought this was a kids show.
The giant penguin stood 1.4 meters tall. I will definitely have this link because it's a fantastic picture. It's just awesome. I could look at that picture all day.
Can you show it to the viewers at home?
Oh, I was going to say I might be able to do that. Just give me 2 seconds. I might be able to make this happen. I'm going to do everything that I can to make it happen. So
come on, technology, work.
Yeah, just talk amongst yourselves. All
right.
Okay, let's see if we can bring it up. If I do this,
oh yes,
look at that. In fact, I might be able to do better than that.
Well, even better.
There we go. That's what I was saying. So it's a pretty good picky. Isn't that a great picture?
Wow.
It's like something out of 1940s or something. Oh, no. Like 1910s or something. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
The way it's artistically been done. It's very, very cool. And we'll definitely have this in the show notes. But Mike Safey remembers the summer day in 2006 when he took a group of school children fossil hunting in Kawhia Harbour on the west coast of New Zealand's North Island. And we paddled across to where the fossils were, started looking. Then quite a number of kids and a few adults saw this thing on the foreshore. And it was just set in mudstone below a high tide mark. And he said, crikey, this is something important. And it was. And so it's a large fossil discovered on the west coast of New Zealand's North Island in 2006 is a new species of giant penguin. And this penguin stood at one point and lived about 30 million years ago. So that's quite a few. It's quite a few. Yeah. And it is first largely intact fossil of a giant penguin found on the North Island. And what I'll do is I'll bring this up again and you can have a look at the fossil.
Oh, wow.
It's pretty cool, hey?
That's quite a big portion of what's left.
It's phenomenal to think that is 30 million. So I'm going North Island on the west coast. So I'm pretty sure I've got a good idea where that is. I'll need to look up that bay because my other half, her whole family comes from the west coast of the North Island. That's where her dad grew up.
Yeah.
So
when you get
it'll
to
be
New Zealand for Christmas, start digging.
no, because we'll be. Oh, actually, we will be in the North Island, but we'll be if we ever get there. But we'll be in the south part, and then I think we'll be in Crossing. I can't quite remember if we actually get there. If we actually get there, we will be going to Christchurch to see excuse me, Nessa's mum. If we actually get there. Oh my God, my giddy aunt, we have just smashed over the 36-minute mark, which, as you know, means we need to shut it down and shut it down fast. But I will definitely put this link in the show notes. I highly recommend that you have a read of it. It's a very, very good one. So, as we say every week on the show, it's good night from me.
And it's also good night from him.
Right side of life. For life is quite absurd.
Later.
Bye.
49th episode next week. Wait.